What's going on, guys? It's Keefe. In today's video, we are going over the 5 most important traits for a man to have. Now, before we get into that, I made this channel to build better men. So if you're a guy who's out there who's looking to improve his life in any way, hit the subscribe button and bell icon. I put out new videos every single day to make sure you can do exactly that. So let's get into the video. Now, guys, before we get into the video, I want to announce that my signature program, the Better Man Coaching Program, is now accepting new members. This is a program I made so that we can work one-on-one every single week to help transform your life completely. I'm only looking to work with 2 kinds of people, though. The first kind of person is perhaps like a young guy who's out there who just feels like he's not on the right path. He doesn't know what the heck he's doing with his life. He's not getting the success in any area of life he wants, and he's ready to seriously take action to make transformations, to do what he wants with his life, to have the success with women and his body and whatever area of his life it is. He's ready to take action on it. If you're that kind of guy, you're one of the kinds of people I'm looking for. The other kind of person I'm looking to work with is somebody who perhaps you find yourself in a rut in life. You feel like maybe you took the wrong turn on a certain thing, and you're just ready to make a massive change and steer the ship in the right direction, get your life on track. I made this program because I feel like this world needs more strong, high-value men who are producing and doing something great with their lives rather than a bunch of soy boys that we've got currently going on. So if you're one of those guys and you want to be in that high-value category, you want to radically transform your life, and you are seriously ready to take action on doing that, click the link in the description box below. It's the first link. Schedule a free consultation with me. We'll find out if the program is a good fit for you. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. The 5 traits that men must have, the 5 most important traits, that is. The first one here is ambition, okay? I find that ambition was the key for me in my life, right? Because for those of you who've been watching my channel, you know I used to be this like stoner, getting drunk. I really had no plan for myself, failing college classes, just basically putting no effort into anything. And the real reason is because I didn't have any inspiration. I didn't have that thing I was ambitious about, right? And what really changed for me was I started recognizing what it was I wanted to do with my life, right? I figured out like something to be ambitious about. Like, holy shit, I could run my own business and have an impact on the world the way I want to have an impact on. And I actually have the power within me to transform my life and to do what I want with my life. And when that hit me, when that truly hit me, it's like everything else started to change, and I was able to, like, I had no interest in the weed anymore. I was like, this stuff's not helping me. It's holding me back from what I want to do. I have no interest in partying all night. I want to get up early. I want to do my thing, right? Ambition causes that to happen. When your reach exceeds your grasp, that's the famous thing that they say about great men. All great men, their reach exceeds their grasp. And remember this, if you're not aiming too high, you're aiming too low. And if you're not aiming high enough, then again, you're not going to have that drive and that discipline that's going to orient your whole life, right? When you have that thing you're ambitious about and you believe you can get to, or at least you're asking the question curiously, like, can I do this great thing with my life? When you're asking those kinds of questions and focusing on it, it will require all the crap to get out of the way. But if you're not asking that question, then the idea of sleeping in and getting stoned and doing whatever you want with your life, playing video games all day, watching TV all day, whatever it is, it doesn't seem so bad, right? Because you don't have this other thing that drives you so hard. So ambition is such an important trait for men to have. Again, it leads to all other positives. The way to generate this ambition, because guys, a lot of guys think that they are programmed at birth. They're either not self-confident or they don't have the ambition or whatever it is. That's not true. Every single one of these traits I'm going to go over here, there's a specific way you can build each one of them. When it comes to ambition, it's about finding purpose, because purpose is what's going to give you that ambition. I've talked about this a lot lately, but your purpose doesn't have to be some massive thing that just changes the world. It's just got to be clear for what it is for you, right? Whatever business it is you want to have an impact in, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want your life to look like? And when you get clear on that, everything else starts to move out of the way, because that inspires you and that ambition moves you forward, okay? Second one I got on here is being internally validated. This is about asking, what do you want, rather than other people telling you what you should want. Kind of goes along with ambition, finding purpose. But if you have this, then you can start to be a leader in the world, right? When I was talking about at the beginning with my program, part of the program is about becoming internally validated, finding what it is that you want to do with your life, because other people are constantly trying to tell us what we should want to do with our lives. But it's your life. You got to be happy with what you choose to do with it. And you will not have a massive impact in your life if you're not doing what you want to do, right? The guys who perhaps they're in like a corporation and they're mid-level kind of people, they've been that way. They're not bad employees, but they're not great employees. They're not exceptional. They're not changing the company or anything. Those are the people who are kind of there because it just kind of like one thing led to another. The people who rise up the ranks fast, the people who become like elite generals in the military versus the guy who kind of retires as maybe like a major or something like that. I don't know exactly how that works, but the people who climb to the high ranks are the ones who are doing exactly what they want to do. A General Patton from World War II, he knew, he even talked about it, he felt like it was his destiny to be a general on the battlefield, and so he rose to the highest ranks, and he's considered a military genius, even despite his kind of quirky behaviors, right? You got to be internally validated. You got to know what you want to do. This is so important. You got to be concerned with your own opinion over others, because everybody's got an opinion. Opinions are a dime a dozen. They really mean nothing, but you got to focus on what it is that you want, what feels right inside of you, okay? The way to develop this internal validation is to learn to be good with you, because like I said, everybody's going to have an opinion about it. So you just got to be good with what your opinion about the situation is, all right? Third one I got on here, independence, becoming independent. You can't be dependent on others, right? A good example of this personally in my life right now is I'm kind of dependent on YouTube, right? And I'm not exactly thrilled about that. I love making these videos and stuff, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, as soon as I've got like the coaching program built and I've got these other things going and the revenue's built and I'm full-time focused on this business, I need to start building like an email list, or I need to have a private website where all my content is hosted there, because you never know, YouTube might just kick me off the platform if they don't like what I say. You never know. Like, I'm dependent on YouTube in a way, and so I'm working on getting off that. So it's okay if you find yourself in a spot where you're dependent on somebody, but just become aware of that. A lot of athletes talk about this these days. They don't want to be dependent on perhaps the NFL or the NBA. This is why like a player will sit out of the games like when he has 2 years left on his contract, because he wants the new contract, because he's got to think about him, right? The team's going to kick you to the curb if he doesn't get his money, right? I got to go get these endorsement deals. I got to go do all these different things, right? Because I got to take care of me, and I got to be independent. I can't be counting on a team that's going to do what's in its best interest. Same for you in your life, in any area. A lot of people make this mistake in jobs. They've got a job with a company that if you're, 12, 13 years old, you've lived through a major economic recession, 2008, right? You know that bad things can happen. You know your job isn't guaranteed. We think these secure jobs are so key. Like, oh, we get the secure job. Guys, I've worked for other people, and I've found that they're just like completely unreliable most of the time. Most of the people I work with, I find to be incredibly unreliable. Even people I've worked for, I like go into a business, like working for a company or working for somebody in real estate, and I'll be like expecting like it's this serious thing where everybody's locked in. It's like, half these people don't have their crap together. So why would you be dependent on them, counting on them for a salary? Focus on getting independence, because here's the thing. If you're dependent, that leads to an attachment, and the attachment leads to a fear of loss. And if you lose the thing, like, it can really damage your life, right? This is what happens with guys, right? If with a girl, perhaps. They're dependent on the girl because they don't feel good within themselves. They want the girl to validate their self-worth. So now they're attached to the girl, and if they're attached to the girl, they fear losing her. They turn into this needy, kind of bitchy kind of guy, right? So you don't want to be attached to things. You don't want to be dependent on things. The best way to get over this is to trust yourself and to be good with you, okay? You got to be having that self-confidence, which is the fourth trait I've got on here. Self-confidence is required for all of these other things, right? How are you going to have ambition if you don't have the confidence to go get it? How are you going to be internally validated if you don't have the confidence in your beliefs versus somebody else's beliefs? How are you going to be independent if you don't have the confidence that you can do it, right? So self-confidence is so key to build. I've made videos on building self-confidence, but basically it's about building positive momentum. Take the next step. Ask yourself, like, what could I really do? Like, could I go do this next thing, right? Be curious about your own potential and then start to go take those next steps. Get out of the comfort zone. Keep proving to yourself you're capable of things. It'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, the accomplishments you will reach after. Next one, the fifth and final one on here is emotional control. I'm not talking about repression. The old male idea was that men are unemotional. We have emotions, but it's the proper channeling of them, right? I'm not a believer in this whole follow your feelings kind of thing. Your feelings are a good guidepost to what you're experiencing and how you're seeing the world, right? So if you're feeling anger, everything in the world is going to look angry to you, right? The person cuts you off in traffic and it bothers you. Why is my food not ready yet? Why is the delivery not here yet? All these things start to make you angry. So the emotion isn't something you should indulge in and do all these things like let the anger run in that sense. It's just something to be aware of. You have it in your body. Same way with fear or doubt or insecurity. But the problem is if you let these things control you, it generally ends bad, right? You always say something bad when you're angry. You start cussing somebody out or say something you don't mean to somebody you care about. Or when you're fearful, you panic and make a bad choice. You just make bad decisions when you're emotional. So the key here, guys, it's not, again, to repress the emotions, because when you repress, you get all these diseases and bad things can happen, and it always spills back out. The key is to learn how to let them go, which I've talked about, releasing the emotions. And this is the way you do this, is to learn to observe without attachment. So what this is you can recognize, this is so key to understand, guys, is you never actually feel angry. You never feel fear. You never feel desire, this craving, wanting, gotta have, or a grief or sadness. You never actually feel these things. You feel a sensation and you mentally associate it with that, and you start giving it negative meanings, and so you start acting on it. If you just recognize that, like, perhaps fear is just like your weakness in the knees, like a frantic state in the body, there's like this kind of feeling of energy in the body, but you don't mentally attach to it and identify with it, it'll just kind of go out of your body. And you can recognize that it's there without indulging in it mentally. Meditation really helps with this, so you can detach from those experiences and just witness them. And what happens when this happens is you can let it go. Nobody's perfect at this, guys. For example, a couple days ago, YouTube was not letting me upload a video, and so I didn't end up getting to upload the video for the whole day. And the amount of emotional crap that was coming out of my body, I was like, this is insane. Like, how attached I was, and how much this was bothering me emotionally, how angry this was making me that I couldn't put this video up. Really such a stupid thing to be angry about, in all honesty, but it was still there, right? Like, the anger's coming up, the desire to put the video out. I gotta put this out. If I don't put this out, my views are gonna go down, my subscribers are gonna go down, I'm gonna lose my momentum, all this fear starts hitting, right? And until I just kind of relaxed and stopped letting those thoughts run, which were associated with the feelings, I was just making frantic decisions. I was out here Googling, like, what's going on with YouTube. I was trying different browsers, constantly frantically getting madder and madder and more panicked about the situation, until I just stopped thinking about it, stopped worrying about it, observed that the feeling state was in me, and realized it just had to let itself out. And once it let itself out, I just felt a lot better. And even, like, if YouTube has another issue, it's kind of more like, well, you know, like, I can't do anything about that, right? Like, all I can do is upload the videos when they come up. No reason to be upset about it. Now, guys, if you got something out of this video, I want you to give me a like so I can reach more guys through the algorithm. Again, if you're interested in joining the Better Man coaching program, click the link below and learn about that. See if we can schedule a free consultation and find out if it's a good fit for you. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you later.